Welcome back to Life and Hair, and Upgrade Claire is working for me today because it's nice getting a nice new piece, but what are you going to actually do with it? How is it going to serve you? What are you going to do to enable to style it and incorporate it into your overall look? Well, I got this head, I've attached her to the head, and I have my curler, and I'm going to just take section by section as I speak to you and curl her and then see what we have. I wanted to focus a little bit on toppers because there are lots of people who have gone straight for full wigs and not really considered how useful toppers can be. I found toppers amazing, and you can have quite a lot of hair loss and still wear toppers. When I was looking at the Upgrade Claire Plus, I was quite concerned at the size of her base. It's 6.5 centimetres by 6.5 centimetres. Whereas the John Renault was 9 by 9, and the Courtney, which I reviewed on another video, was 7 by 8, I believe. So I was aware that I was going to go down in size, and I was quite worried as to whether it was going to be enough to give me the coverage that I needed. You know, this last year in 2021, probably from about midway through, I lost an awful lot of hair. I've been in that situation before where I've had quite a lot of shedding, but I had more hair to start off with. It didn't freak me out, whereas normally it may well have freaked me out. I've had many years of experiencing shedding, and as I've told you before, when I was younger and I didn't know anything about hair pieces, wigs or anything like that, you know, and I dare say had I known about them I probably would have shunned them because of the taboo aspect of it. I wouldn't have wanted to be seen as the girl who wore hair. So when I had the shedding this time around, I felt emotionally capable of dealing with it. And it didn't really matter that that my hair was falling out. It didn't, I mean, on balance, I'd prefer it if my hair was healthy and thick and stayed put and didn't shed prematurely. But considering that it does, I feel that I'm so much more emotionally accustomed to it and resilient against it. The help that I have from the helper hair and the helper pieces, etc., whatever they might be, toppers or full wigs, hasn't just been an experience where I'm hiding my hair loss. It's been so much more than that. And I know that there are so many of you that understand exactly. I hear it in your comments. I hear it when I watch other hair reviewers talking about the excitement they feel at a new style. Often you can see the joy in their face, you know. So the hair loss, when it happened, didn't really bother me. It just meant that I needed to step up my hair wearing game, so that rather than wearing it just with Steve or with close friends, it meant that I had to step it up and wear it when I went out with his friends. They knew very well what I looked like before, and they could see a dramatic difference. I also very recently tried wearing hair to work. Now, you know, I wasn't in a situation where I was with close colleagues through no fault of my own. They just weren't in the office at that time. But I did go and see clients wearing hair. And you know, at the back of your mind, you are thinking, well, are they going to notice that I'm wearing hair? Will they think it's unprofessional? And actually, I'm very, very much at peace and very confident that people generally cannot tell that you are wearing helper hair. Initially, when I first started wearing helper hair, I wasn't convinced of that fact at all. I spent so much energy and time concerned about, could they tell? That eternal, perennial question that nobody could satisfy, nobody could actually answer, no matter how many times my husband said, look, I can't tell, it looks really natural to me, or how many times my daughter said, no, it looks really nice. It looks really nice, I can't tell, it looks natural. It didn't seem to go in. It didn't seem to matter how many times they told me. I still was nervous about it. But because I have done the legwork, I have had all of those experiences over the last couple of years, or maybe even 2.5 years now, where strangers and acquaintances have really assured me that they couldn't tell. People who didn't have a dog in the fight. It didn't matter to them whether it was real or not, or whether they told me the truth or not. They explained that it looked so natural and they couldn't believe that it was fake, that it was a wig, that it was a topper. You know, and you know, I had no reason to distrust them. I mean, with Steve and with the girls, maybe they were just trying to save my feelings. Maybe they wanted to give me reassurance so that I could have the confidence to go out in the pieces. But these people that I bumped into, incidentally, some of which I actually captured on film and put in a video in order to reassure you that what I'm saying is actually true, they had no reason to lie. They could easily have said, well, you know, from this angle I can see that you know, I can see the lace, or, you know, the bits on the side don't quite look right, etc. But never happened, not once. So eventually I came to be at peace with it. And of course, you know, toppers really provide a very good solution. I've got the halo wire here and I really don't want to melt it. It's such a beautiful colour, this Truffle Brown. And you know, by watching the first review, you'll see that it's got a very lovely, very, very lovely auburn tint. And I think wearing this piece with this dress today, that's got all of the auburns and the teals, I think it's going to look really beautiful. So the idea is that I'm going to curl it with my curling wand, so it's going to have those spiral curls, hopefully, or whatever curls it has, it'll be great. And as somebody who's always grown up having curly hair, I feel very comfortable with having curls. I like the movement. Yeah, I really like the curl. But then there's something really tantalising about straight hair too, isn't there? Yeah, it's the variety. So, I just remember a comment from one of the ladies who watched one of my videos. She said, oh, you know, I've always worn full wigs. I've never ever had a topper. And initially that was, no. That was also my experience, actually. You know, I went for full wigs first because that's the first thing you think about when you're thinking about wearing hair. You don't realise that there are such things as toppers with all the different sized bases and all the different fibres and everything. But I think toppers have been a real game changer for me. Real game changer. You know, I prefer wearing toppers if I'm going out in the day, for example, or if I'm doing something a little bit more physical, if I'm going for a walk or meeting people out in the park like I did in 21 when we could only meet outside. Yeah, so the lovely thing about toppers is that you can incorporate your own hair is on view. The hairline of, you know, the side bits means that it gives incredible realism. You can tuck your hair behind your ears, no problem. With this, it's got such an amazing lace front. Hopefully we'll have a better look at it in a minute. All right, really excited because I've not actually curled a piece this extensively before. So let's see what I've got. So this is the end result. It hasn't been brushed out. That's the back. So I put the wand in, I heated the hair, and then I held it up like this until it cooled a little bit. It's got tremendous bounce. It's wonderful. So, Upgrade Claire Plus. Let's take her off the head and take a look at what she can give me. Okay, a quick recap in case you didn't watch the previous review. I cut the lace front, full monofilament top with enclosed wefts behind. There are 4 clips to secure it plus a halo wire. There is a tail at one end that when you pull it, it tightens the wire. So when you put this piece on, you basically put the wire outside of the clips, put her on as normal with the clips, aligning that lace front, I can feel the wire at the back of my head. Now it's slipped a little, so I will pull it back, get some of my own hair over the top of it because that will secure it and keep it anchored down. You don't want it sort of sliding up your head, do you? Okay, and pull it through. Yeah, it secures it, it makes it feel good. It pulls in that lace nicely. See? When I do this, I don't feel that it's pulling on the clips because that's basically the biggest problem. Now, I've got my curls. Look at the lovely colour. It's an absolute delight. Let me move these boxes back. Too many boxes and they are everywhere. Now I'm going to brush these out, which is what I would do normally with my hair. I would curl it, gently brush it out because you don't want to get rid of them completely. The bounce, the elasticity, baby, the elasticity of this hair. It takes the curl really well, just like a head of healthy hair would. Look at this. This is why I didn't want to get it cut. Whoops. I mean, you know, the lovely girl at Uniwigs suggested that I get it incorporated into my own and, you know, get it cut. But I'm not ready. I am not ready to I made a bit of a mistake actually. On this side I curled it in, and on this side I curled it out. I should have curled this out. Let me see if I can, just let me see if I can fix that. I'm just going to hold it up until it cools a little. Ladies, I don't know what you feel, but I really feel that this little spot, and this is why I'm filming here today, this is my happy place. You know, I start every day here at my dressing table. I've got everything I need. The boxes, the wig boxes, are piled up on either side of this dressing table, and actually there's no more room on the floor, so I've kind of had to pile them here. Now there is a wardrobe just behind you where I'm going to reorganize the shelves. There are things in there that I have had in there since my children were still having little girls' birthday parties. Things like chocolate fountains. The only chocolate fountain I want right these days is what I've got on my head. I need to free up some space for all of this. Now, Stephen didn't realise how many wigs I had and how many toppers I had. And because I have thus far been keeping them in that wardrobe, and they got so many that I had to pull them out. He said, wow, how many have you got? I said, well, I'm not really sure, but there are quite a lot there. And I've always got my eye on something, and I always try and find a bargain. So I've just bought Leading Lady, and I believe that's, I think Jacqueline Smith is modelling it, so it's probably Jacqueline Smith. And I bought it in chocolate rooted, I think. I had the impression that Steve was sort of coming close to saying, well, you know, maybe you're going to have to pull back a little bit on the wigs. And I just said to him straight away, no, this is my time. This is my time. These years are for me to enjoy the phase of life that I'm in at the moment. I have lost a lot of weight. I'm about to become a grandmother, but I'm not a grandmother yet. It may be that I may be giving up my job and doing something else. These are big developments in my life, and there's no way that I'm going to try and scale back on the wig buying. That's just not going to happen. He knows it and I know it. But anyway, what do you think? Do you see how this Upgrade Claire Plus looks when she's been curled? The bounce that's in her, the luster of the colour. Let me open up the just to show you the naturalness of the way she is with your hair underneath. When you put her up, I really suggest that you pull down a few hairs from the actual topper layer and allow them to lay over your own hair to give it that natural look, so the difference between the topper hair and your hair isn't too visible. Let's have a look at the back. It's a lovely weight to it, but it's not too heavy. This is one of my favourite Alice bands. Let's see what it looks like. I wore this with Courtney a lot and it looked really good. You know something? And this is really speaking from the heart. I have a deep, passionate desire to help with an existing movement, because it hasn't escaped my notice that hair wearing is more popular than ever in these most recent years. But I do feel that it's becoming more popular now. And with the help of social media and video reviews and hair sellers wanting the support and the feedback of women who can review and leave comments and send photos in to the hair sellers for them to put on their websites. In the UK, we've got a really popular YouTuber called Sugar Puff and Fluff. She actually wears name brand wigs and has tremendous reach, actually. She has really amazing reach. Just to the, you know, the people, the women that tend to follow her are sort of quite ordinary women, not necessarily with hair loss. So I really feel that she's doing a lot to spread the word about wearing hair. And also, I don't know what you guys think, but I really feel that female hair loss has been more of a problem in these modern days that we're living now than it's ever been before. When I was a young girl, I never really saw women with thin hair. I can remember when I was a child, one woman in the village that I lived in had really fine hair. You know, and even as a child, I could look into her eyes and see the pain that she was experiencing. You know, the shame. You know, sometimes she wore a scarf around her head. Sometimes it was hot and she didn't want to wear a scarf around her head. You know, and she tried to front it out. And even as a child, I could see she was fronting it out. So when we've got three things coming together, more female hair loss, amazing wigs being produced, and amazing wig sellers that are making their platform really modern by getting the reviews and the feedback and the engagement from us. And then we've got social media, where we in our own right can spread the word and the joy of hair wearing. It turns hair wearing from a shameful, taboo, secretive necessity that you can't get away from, to actually an expression, a joyful expression of beauty, of versatility, where you can use different lengths of style, different colors, rooted, unrooted, very dark, very pale, in a way that you'd never be able to achieve without completely ruining your hair. Not only is this exciting for women with thick, lovely hair, but those women who have chosen to wear helper hair can now enjoy it and use it as a means of self-expression. I'm not taking anything away from the nerves and the trepidation that you might feel during those first times. You know, the first time you show your partner, the first time you walk out of your house with it on your head, what it feels like when you introduce your new look to friends for the first time. Nothing will ever take the nerves away, because hair wearing isn't so widespread and fashionable yet in our society, where that's going to be just an ordinary and easy thing to go through. I understand the feelings of trepidation and nerves, doubting yourself and doubting your look. Does it look real? Wow, we need to move on from all of that malarkey. We live in a new society where people can express themselves the way they want to, where they don't need to be discriminated against because of either the way they look or their life choices or the way they were born. You know, when we lose our hair, nobody wants that as a choice. No one would choose that. Nobody would choose to go through such a harrowing experience, especially as a young woman, you know. But now I do believe that we have that fertile ground to grow our tribe as hair-wearing women. And we're wearing hair for all sorts of reasons, and it's not just because of the shame of hair loss. We can wear our hair because we like the way it looks, we love the curl, we love the bounce, we love the self-expression, the artistic expression, the joy and the curiosity of seeing what we look like in different ways. But seriously though, seriously, this upgrade, Claire Plus, has surpassed all of my expectations. I have such a wide variety of places to wear her during the day or at night, in an updo, that messy, easy updo. But my favourite has always been loose and curly and lustrous and easy. Thanks for listening to my rantings. By the way, before I go, I just want to say that I recently went a little bit mad and bought a piece in the sale that I honestly never imagined that I ever would. Look at this colour. This is champagne rooted. It's red carpet style. It's really quite a short bob in this champagne colour with a root. Now guys, I can go from this to this, and I find that really inspiring and liberating. See you next time.